That was the wrong screen. Don't worry about it. I set my thing up. I didn't set my thing up because I was busy chatting with Chance on Discord. This is Chance's fault, don't worry about it. Bum, 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 always Chance's fault. How you guys doing? It's on my controller on. There we go. Are we doing any story content today that we need to worry about for Chance? This is grinding I've done off stream. Like 2 hours. Not for the sake of grinding, but for the sake of getting the kill count up. We're in basically the same area as we left off last time. This area that's the best for grinding. Let me just do something real quick. Where is it? Over there? Over here? Where is it? Where is it? Literally just as the stream is over, screen popped up. I did end kind of earlier than I expected, because I was tired. Well, the thing with possible spoilers at this point, Chance, is I think we're just doing side content for a while. We've done all the Piasto stuff, so you don't have to worry about spoilers for that side quest. Discoveries, we've got all the crew. Oh, I appreciate that, Chance. I appreciate that. It's a day off for you, and we're not doing Shin Megami Tensei when we can take the opportunity. I understand how it is. What's next? Deep Sky. That's what's next. But yeah, all the crew. Yastol's done. I should have... We're not supposed to be doing Nocturne, Chat. We're supposed to be doing Persona 3, remember? There it is. Lupus nest. Lupus are mysterious creatures, rarely seen by even the most seasoned of sailors. They nest in the stone reefs, and their young stay in the nests until they mature. Lupus are white at birth, but turn various colours as they age. I mean, no SMTS for that. So I've made a list of all of the discoveries we do not have yet. It is on this notepad. Now that I've got Lupus list, where is that? I didn't want to get this off stream, so I wanted you guys to see all of them. Here it is. So there's quite a few discoveries we still have left. First is Beetle. Which, like, we'll work our way through these. But yeah, I ended stream early than I originally intended to last night. Mostly because I was just kind of tired. And we'd done a bunch of stuff. Got one more bounty to go. Might as well go for discoveries for a bit. Beacrock, located towards the south end of South Ocean, in the southern sky rift on a large rock with a point on the end. It is the point on the island. And the South Ocean is here. Yes. So let's just head this way. So this is probably going to be like a decent chunk of this stream because we've got a bunch of discoveries to get. One of those discoveries is it's supposed to be one around here as well. One of those discoveries is supposed to be the reward for getting all the moonfish, which we don't have, which is confusing and irritating because it suggests it's a problem. Particularly because the final Piastol fight is only supposed to be available when you've got all the moonfish. There we go, the Garpa fruits. A vine plant that hangs from the bottom of the continent. Its stem contains a powerful hallucinogen. It has been used for medicinal and religious purposes throughout the ages. It's also commonly used in local delicacies. There's probably others around here, but I don't remember. It's the South Ocean. Yeah, it's a little frustrating. I don't understand what's going on with it. The problem is, it's not required for the Vice Legend rank, I don't think. Make some brownies with those. Not quite for the Vice Legend, I don't think. But it is required for the 3 secrets. Lambda Burst. Surprised that hit the Looper. The Ica's attacks usually don't.
Let us pray that our next battle goes.
Or rather, Ica's screen nukes usually don't do any damage to the Loopers. There it is, Beak Rock. A natural rock formation sculpted by the constant wind currents of South Ocean. Many a sailor's story tells of a giant bird flying south or being attacked by a monstrous beak. These are likely based on sightings of this rock. Okay, so that's done. Oh, Garpa Fruits was next. So that's 2 down. And entering North Ocean from Ixatarka, head north and go to least to find the island. Find an islander. Alright, time to turn around. It's nice being able to go above or below the clouds to just not have random encounters. Pretty sure we're ahead of the level curve we're supposed to be at anyway. So it's fine, don't worry about it. So here's the map. North Ocean from its attack, head north and a little to the east to find the island, and head south of the island is an invisible island. North and a little east, so this direction maybe? So yeah, there's enough discoveries left that this is going to take at least a couple of hours. Get him. Magic update while grinding off stream as well. Fina has maxed out silver magic. Not that it really matters, because the last silver magic spell is Eternum, which is an instant death spell. It's a guaranteed hit on anything that is susceptible to instant death, which is often nothing that it would be worth using against.
Let us be thankful for our safety.
Alright, so south of this island? Or south of that island? This is the problem with, like, invisible discoveries. The only instructions you can give without just using a map are always going to be a little too vague. Just south suggests that it's not a far distance, though. Nice. I consume my enemy's lambda burst.
Over there.
Slice. Nice.
Thank the moons.
Yeah, why not? Let's do this. I love the ship battles in this game. Oh no, magic cannons. Whatever will I do? A lot more powerful than I would have expected an enemy in this area to be. That torpedo fired upwards from a horizontal facing cannon. I've got so little experience. Don't worry about it. Just south. Part of the issue we have with this as well is, like, how far south? What's the height of it south? Mysterious ring. If we can find the will-o-wisps, actually, that might do it. Apparently they're right near the will-o-wisps, or the will-o-wisps are right near the mysterious rings. Magic grinding gets so tedious in this game, though.
I hope that I'm being useful.
It's a fortunate enough thing that if you're playing properly, like you're playing the game properly enough with managing weaknesses to weapon elements though, you should have what you need fairly quickly. Well, not fairly quickly. When you need it. The Rock's Nest, which is... Right, so this is not... I think it's what we were looking for. It's another discovery. The nest of the legendary bird, the Rock. A single rock egg is large enough to feed a whole town for a full lunar cycle. However, not many people are brave or stupid enough to try and steal the egg from the nest of this giant bird. You want to know how big the bird is? It's one of the 4 monsters we can fight in the ship. Yes, presumably it's this island.
Yeah. Over there.
I think at this point I might be a higher level or close to the level I finished my previous playthrough up. No, I definitely didn't have Ika's final super move. Although spending time with it in this playthrough really says that it's not worth it. So, most islands are around about the same altitude. So if we just keep heading this direction, hopefully we'll find it. It's good work, Fina.
We are victorious.
Frustrating.
We are victorious.
I should switch to blue, because it looks like everybody needs blue. Alright, let's start back where we were. Heading north from Ixataka, north and a little east. Like, it'd be helpful if you were describing it by, like, all the compass points, because it's like north. Northeast. North by northeast.
Yeah.
Alright.
Over there.
Yeah.
Freeze them up.
That was easy.
One thing that does help with, like, magic grinding, though. So it's got to be this island, surely. There it is. Mysterious rings. Huge geometric shapes that mysteriously appear on the ground overnight. Reports have been very frequent lately. Old records speak to a similar phenomenon, mention 2 or 3 glowing balls of light that appear the night before the shapes are found. Located on the island just next to the mysterious rings. There we go. That is 2 discoveries. Next up, we'll be heading to Nasrad. I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw something glowing out in the put. I woke up in the middle of the night. I woke up into middle of the night and saw something glowing out near some unpopulated islands. I thought I was just seeing things, but first, then, like, started moving around in these weird patterns. An anonymous sailor. Alright, let's get out of here. East. Just wait till we get to the discoveries that move around. We'll go through the sky rift. Ah, yeah. Remember the days when we couldn't do that? A little bit. There we go. There's Sailor's Island. North and a little west from Nasrad to find it on the side of those blue mountains. Thank you, Bane. How you doing, buddy? I was going for the Yorkshire accent. And the Red Moon. Yeah. Right, so there's Nasrad. North and a little west, so presumably north by northwest. On the Valuan Mountains. Yeah, I'm doing alright. Not as tired as yesterday. Presumably around here-ish. That's a random battle. It's one looper. It'll just fuck you. Absolutely will. And yet, we have a replay of that game lined up for Point Redemption.
Let us pray that our next battle goes.
To be fair, like, Digital Devil Saga is legitimately one of the best RPGs I've played. How you doing, Cat? Gotta be around these mountains. Probably back then. Yeah, I look forward to doing Digital Devil Saga again. Even with us having to do the Demi-Fiend fight. Because like, it's just legitimately a really good JRPG. Fire consume my enemies. Lambda burst. Heck yeah. There you go, did 0 damage. It was worth a shot. If it wasn't for the fact that most SMT super bosses are New Game Plus, I'd be like, every SMT game we play, let's take a look at a super boss. Like I said, most SMT super bosses are New Game Plus. Like Devil Survivor, Lucifer is New Game Plus only, and you can only fight him right at the end of the game. Or like right near the end of the game.
Let us be thankful for our safety.
Oh, we're not doing the super boss. We're not taking a look at the super boss of Digital Devil Saga 2 because it's New Game Plus on hard mode. I was like, I'm just not doing that. Hula hooping. You mean hula looping? Because they're loopers? Dan, do you think it's a spoiler to say the super boss of Persona 3? Like, not the Reaper, the other super boss. One that you have to go out your way for. Unfollowing because of that shit. I mean, it's understandable. I love JRPGs. So good. So I posted it in the Discord, but did you guys see Suikoden 1 and 2 being remastered? Absolutely awesome.
That wasn't so bad.
I'm gonna need everybody to go out and get me some more followers though, because I've swapped out the follower goals, and Suikoden 1 and 2 are gonna be the follower goals for 200 followers. So if all y'all can go out and get me a few more followers, like, that would be much appreciated. Not so I can do the remasters, just so I can do the original games before the remasters come out. Alright, it's not there. Let's go back to Nasrad. Try and work it out from there. Well, Konami... It's weird. Konami had been teasing a new announcement. Breath of Fire 1 and 2 have been bumped. Cat had cosmos. I've been sat at like 195, 196, 197 followers for months. Like, Konami teased months ago that, so here's Nasrad. Konami teased a few months back that they were going to be announcing a new game in a worldwide beloved series that they have. And two things: I would not have expected that series to be Suikoden, and two, those are not new games. Yeah, the expectation of Silent Hill on Metal Gear Solid was much more reasonable. Like, who would have expected Suikoden? The crushing ball. I understand, Bane. Maybe I'll swap them around monthly, or like every couple of weeks or so. Aika, where's your face? There we go. Yeah, I get that, Cat. Like, there's too many games that just aren't playable on modern systems, and it leaves emulation as like the only reasonable discourse. So what this is, because we're using the widescreen hack, the game is rendering stuff outside of the normal field of view, and it has a very active culling. And there you can see Vice's hand disappears, but like that's outside the regular field of view. Interesting that Fina doesn't disappear. Cupil disappears, but Fina doesn't. It's just weird that the camera started with Aika like that. And now Enrique's head has gone. Yeah, I'm always supportive of the idea that more classic games need to be available on modern systems. And it's frustrating that so many aren't.
Prepare yourself.
And that the current generation solution seems to be subscription services for it. Like, especially the subscription service bullshit. Like, gotta give absolute props to Microsoft for the way they've handled backwards compatibility. It wasn't great, and it's still not entirely perfect, because perfect would be everything. No? Good. Perfect would be everything, and it's not everything, which is unfortunate. But the simple fact that you can use your original discs to play the old games on Xbox is absolutely fantastic. And that should be the standard, and it's not, and it's disappointing.
Let us be thankful for our safety.
And I get you can't do stuff like that on Nintendo, because Nintendo changes what their game formats are like every fucking week. But Nintendo has had Virtual Console since the Wii, and they're tied to your Nintendo account, or should be. Nintendo could absolutely let you carry over your Virtual Console purchases, and they don't. Nintendo don't want you to play anything they say you can't. It's honestly just endlessly frustrating. What happens when the next Nintendo console comes out is the same thing that happens when every Nintendo console comes out that wasn't the Wii or the Wii U. You lose access to everything previous. Already apparent on 3DS, like what do we do with 3DS stuff? We just lose it. Honestly, mate, probably not. Probably not. Probably restart again. Because look at Virtual Console. how much stuff that was available on any previous incarnation of the Virtual Console isn't available on Nintendo Switch Online. And it's just, it's endlessly repeating cycle. And it's the exact reason why emulation is so important and why anybody with any interest in retro games, even if they would much rather play on the original hardware, which I entirely understand, should have a vested interest in emulation. And have GameCube Virtual Console. I'm thankful that Microsoft started doing original Xbox backwards compatibility, because it has led to quite a few games from that generation being available on modern systems. Like, yeah, it's not going to include any Nintendo games, because of course it isn't. But like, some of my absolute favourites were third party from that generation. Like, they put Time Splitters and Time Splitters 2 on there, and like, great, love those games. Some of my favourite first-person shooters, a Togi and a Togi 2, which I never stop talking about. Idealistic than Art and Ellico. Kill them all, Leica. The simple fact of it is, like, these companies could be doing better and they're not. And we know they could be doing better because they previously have done better. What am I looking for? Score on the side of the balloon. Nintendo was bad with the Virtual Console, but they were better than they are now. And that's the problem. The slow drip release for years, and then the new console comes out and they completely restart. And it becomes a big part of the continuing problem. The Virtual Console Nintendo did was bad, and it was light on games. But it was also the first time they'd done anything like that, so it was a little more understandable. What isn't understandable is that it was the best they've ever done. It's one of those things, we've got to look at a lot of the stuff from that time in the context of its time period. It's like, oh yeah, no, Symphony of the Night on Xbox Live Arcade. It's missing a couple of things. Like, I don't think it has any of the FMVs from the original release. Why is that? Because it was the biggest game on Xbox Live Arcade when it launched, and Microsoft increased the size limit for downloadable games for Symphony of the Night. So in context of today, it's one of the weaker releases of it, but in the context of its time, it was fucking amazing. You'd think. You would think, but Nintendo can just keep doing whatever. Nintendo will keep pushing out whatever they want, however they want. And that's it. And people will be like, oh, at least Nintendo's given us this, as opposed to Nintendo has only given us this and charged us a premium rate for it, and it's not even that good. Like, there was a whole thing when the Nintendo 64 Switch Online section came out of people defending it. Like, oh yeah, no, these games, oh, there's some issues, but they look and play just how I remember them. And it's like, no, they fucking don't. If anything, they should look worse and play worse than you remember them, because that's the problem of games aging, especially from that era. They look and play worse than you remember them because you had a much more experimental palette back then. But that's the games. People defending this shit is always infuriating. Where is this thing? You know what, we'll come back to it. Inside the North Dano Strait. Alright, off we go. Like, all the companies could be doing better than they are. Like, with the arguable exception of Microsoft, who... Like, I don't know if there's a whole lot Microsoft could reasonably be doing better than they are for access to games on their own platforms. There we go, the ship graveyard. Yeah, that's absolutely right, man. Microsoft backwards compatibility does make a point of it running better and looking better, because the emulation system they're using is tweaked for every individual game, which is why the games always came out in batches rather than just like a blanket release. But just for standard emulation, which is what the Switch does. Now, if it plays better than what it is, it's been tweaked in some way. And it's not going to be how you remember it. This North Dano route was once feared as the home of a monster that ate ships, but in reality it is an area where currents are so strong the previous generation of ships lacked the power and hull strength to make it through. So that's that done. Okay. So this one requires me to have found Skull Rock. From Nasrad, go north and a little west to find it on the side of the Valyrian Mountains. Like, I'll give Microsoft shit for other stuff, because I won't say any of these companies are doing perfectly, because none of them are. Like, in terms of backwards compatibility and access to their old games, Microsoft has done about as well as you could ever hope for. Yeah, the generation didn't start well, but they made the effort. Sony barely did. Now, maybe it's the whole thing of like Microsoft arguably being in third place in the industry. Because Sony is the industry leader, and Nintendo's doing their own incredibly successful thing.
I hope that I'm being useful.
And Microsoft's just kind of sat in third place with it. And it's not like they're doing badly, but it leads to them having to do something. And that something for quite a bit was like backwards compatibility. And like I've made the point before of like any game, any PS3 game that was also on Xbox 360 and is available on backwards compatibility, I will absolutely rather play it on Xbox. Oh, I can understand that entirely, man. But ultimately, what reason is there to buy any of the consoles?
That was fun.
It's like, you don't have a reason to buy an Xbox because you have PlayStation. Fair enough. That makes sense. You've got a PlayStation, you don't have a reason to buy these things. Fair enough. Can't argue with that. That's also fair. At this point, I have no reason to buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series because I have a PC. And it's like, very fair, but if you're going off consoles, there's still the point of like, okay, is there a reason to buy any of them? Say you don't have a PC and you've got to choose a console to pick. Nintendo is kind of really gimmicky. Sony is, at this point, kind of edging towards consumer unfriendly. And Microsoft, you can argue, doesn't have the exclusives. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a be right back while I get myself a drink. And I'm going to leave you with the hypothetical of, like, which do you go for? You don't have any of the systems, you don't have a PC. Which system do you go for and why? I'll be right back. Back. Yeah, PlayStation, I'll admit, PlayStation exclusivity was the main reason I went with a PS3 rather than an Xbox 360. Because it's like, oh, I could go with Halo, which, like, Halo 3, cool. Loved Halo 1 and 2. Like, Halo 3, awesome. And then some of the interesting stuff they had, Ninja Gaiden 2, early JRPGs they had, like Lost Odyssey and shit. Well, the PS3 had fucking Metal Gear Solid 4, which counts so goddamn much back in the day. And stuff like Heavy Rain, which was a new kind of experience. You know, I have a bottle. I have a bottle of rum. Right here. I've got a bottle of rum. It's got a good amount left in it. I'm off till Thursday. At some point, we might have a drunk stream. We might have a drinking stream. I might start drinking on stream on Sunday with Clint. Watch the critical discussion fall apart. But yes, where was I? The Kraken. Yes, very, very well played there, Bane. That's good work. I'm proud of you. Probably gonna need it when arguing about Final Fantasy games. I mean, at this point, I feel like let me get back to doing this because I can be trying to make some progress while I do this. I feel like I don't really argue so much about Final Fantasy games. I've been trying to widen my palate in recent months of both food and the alcohol. Because, like, I don't go out as much as I used to. Partly because of age, partly because I just don't care anymore. Don't you shoot lightning at me. Just like, when I do go out, let's try and make it a little different rather than just drinking the same stuff all the time. And I've discovered there are some really nice cocktails. So I'll usually have like at least one cocktail while I'm out, just for the flavour. But yes, PlayStation. With PS4, you bring up the point, it's becoming less of an issue, exclusivity. PlayStation first-party exclusivity, surprisingly less of an issue. Very surprised that they're bringing other stuff to other consoles. And like, yeah, I bought Spider-Man on the PC and I've been enjoying modding it. It's been a lot of fun.
That wasn't so bad.
Third-party exclusivity, though, is like, okay, on PS4, how many first-party games am I really desperate to play? Spider-Man, I was really after playing that when that first came out. I'm going to deny that. God of War, I was ambivalent to. I did eventually play it, and it was a good game. And the only time I'm probably ever going to replay it is probably going to be for the stream. It was a good game. I enjoyed it well enough. It's not a game I feel the need to replay all 100%. I finished the game and didn't do any of the side stuff. Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, haven't played it. Days Gone. Haven't played it. I got it on PlayStation Plus. Haven't played it. Like, the list goes on and on of the Sony first-party exclusives that I just don't give a shit about. Sony's big. Like, even going back to PlayStation, the original PlayStation, when I would arguably be more interested in the first-party stuff Sony was doing, like Wild Arms and stuff like that. it was always the exclusive third-party stuff that kept Sony going, and that's still very much the case. But now we're in a really interesting position. Where we're seeing so many of these third-party games not be exclusive anymore. And it's like Yakuza. Yakuza was exclusive to PlayStation for like 10, 15 years, and then suddenly it came out everywhere. Arguing super hard against Microsoft buying Activision. They do kind of have a point with that, Activision, although Activision isn't so much as it used to be. Because we've been at a point for quite a while where the primary thing that Activision pumps out is Call of Duty. Which is a very big franchise, I'll admit. It makes a lot of money. But ultimately, like, do they have a leg to stand on when they're also buying stuff? It's just because Activision is such a big purchase. But if Sony turned around and bought EA, they'd tell Microsoft to fuck off. There it is, Skull Rock. Never believed that the... it's another anonymous sailor. Never believed that, dear. Never believed the old rocks. Never believed the old story about the rock pointing the way towards the hidden treasure. But one night he was passing by it, and moonlight from the full moon reflected off Skull Rock and lit up an island in the distance. That's how I was supposed to find the Cat's Island. I was supposed to find this ages ago. Fly north and stay near the clouds. There it is. Balloon flower. Curious plant whose colourful fruit sways in the wind like a balloon. When the thin outer shell is popped, a sweet fragrance is released. It is often seen throughout the world in more peaceful times, but as of late, the fruits are seldom seen. There's another one. Ruins of Ice head west, so Ruins of Ice. Like, it brings up the point of like, oh yeah, Sony doesn't want to lose Call of Duty as a multi-platform game, but Sony has been paying for years for timed exclusivity on a lot of COD content. Like, it's been a selling point for them for years. Get it first on PlayStation. And it's like, oh, all of a sudden, oh, we might not get that anymore, we might not get COD at all. And it's like, Microsoft is playing the game you've been playing, and now that you're losing, you want to call it unfair? Fuck off, Sony. Hello. I am so happy we found this, because this is a travelling one. An unmanned shipwreck that continues to wander the skies. Any sailors tell of a ghost ship that appeared suddenly from the fog. Some claim that it was once the ship of the great air pirate Decat, but no evidence has been found to support it. Really happy we found that. I've gone too far north. But yeah, more and more though, like, with all these third parties starting to release the previously Sony exclusive stuff on other platforms, there's not a whole lot to buy a PlayStation for anymore. Huh? Yeah. No? No. Okay, so go north. There's the ruins of ice. West of the little north. Find it a small distance over the mountain on the ice. It's like Yakuza is the first example I use. Like Persona. Like, what's one of the big PlayStation exclusives I would have been after for a long time? Persona. And now that's coming to PC. And Switch. And it's like, great.
Is it over already?
Don't get me wrong, there are legitimate concerns to be made for Microsoft buying Activision. But those concerns were also there when Microsoft bought Bethesda. You see, the issue you have in there, mate, is you try to think of games that are on the PS5 and you can't think of any. Small distance over the mountain. You have a stack of them. How many of them are only next generation games and aren't improved versions of games that are available on PS4? No, we killed the others. I think I brought this up yesterday at some point.
That wasn't so bad.
But, like, people complained at the Vita for not having any games. But we're almost 2 years into PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5's life, and it still has so few games. And that's not just PlayStation, to be fair. The next generation Xbox console also doesn't have really that much. It's frustrating, like, you combine it with the price, especially of the PS5. Games released on that's what I mean, games released on both. I don't mean upgraded games that you bought on PS4 that you've upgraded to PS5. I mean games that are on PS4 that you've bought on PS5. Nice.
Is it over already?
What bachelor? Yeah, that's it. Help me. Oh, there's a monster. We're fighting the monster. Oh, hey, Amanda. Yeah, doing fine. How you doing? Cutlass Fury you to make sure you die. Oh, you die.
Here goes!
It's like... You could buy Resident Evil 8 on PS5, but it's on PS4. Maybe it runs better on PS5, or it plays better, or whatever, but it's on PS4. Even with, like,
That was fun!
properly remastered versions of stuff like... Excuse me. Like Spider-Man. Like, I've been playing Spider-Man Remastered on PC, and, like, yeah, it's really nice. The Judgment. It's really nice, yes, but... It's not that much better than the PS4 version, if at all. Let's do this. This is why I love sailing around. You never know what you'll run into. Now let's kill it. I mean, ultimately, you guys know my preference for video games anyway. I'm much more into older video games. Yeah. Like, I'll give Demon's Souls credit, it looks fantastic. Like, it's an improvement to a game that needed to be improved. But it's also a game that exists elsewhere. Yeah, get behind it. Why not? Yeah, that's the back. Bang, bang. Shot me down. Bang, bang. He hit the ground. Bang, bang. My baby shot me.
Moonstone cannon.
Fire! Fuck you, wonder of the natural world. Yeah, I can imagine it's the same as the PS3 original, just with better graphics, a better frame rate. Possibly not tied to, like, online state not tied to a server, I don't know. Like, when I say it needs to be redone, it's mostly because of frame rate. Like, as bad as Lighttown is in OG Dark Souls, the Valley of Defilement in Demon's Souls is supposed to be worse. A bit different when you don't recall everything, yeah. Ratchet and Clank. At some point I should do Ratchet and Clank. 'Cause I've played some of the original on Vita. but I've never really done much with it. I never finished it. I only did like 3 hours of it, maybe. Oh, sass me, Ica. Limits and items that weren't there in the original. It's like Dark Souls Remastered. On the surface of it, all it does is improve the frame rate in light sound and stuff. But there are a lot of neat little changes to stuff like being able to use the Estus Flask in invasions. Like there's a bunch of quality of life improvements from later games, which makes Dark Souls Remastered a lot more bearable than the original. Yeah, it wouldn't be enough for me either, man. You bastard. Also, the fact that the Demon's Souls remake is £70 new can fuck off. How is it a point where I can do major damage if it's just gonna miss? Yeah, I think that's the only saving grace of both new consoles. The fact that you can play the previous generation on them. Especially this far in. It's like, imagine if you went out at launch and the new consoles didn't have the ability to play PS4 Xbox One games, and you went out at launch and bought one, and here we are 2 years later and you would have, like, what, 10 games to play on it? Especially for the price of it. Yeah, I can see that as a very fair reason there. It's not enough for me, because I will not throw down that much money to just play games I can already play fine. I say as I'm here buying games that I already own three times again so I can have them on PC. It's very fair. I mean, Resident Evil 4 remake, RE4 remake being announced to come out on PS4 is at least partly influenced by the fact that you can't fucking get a PS5. And I think, like, it's absolutely a good thing.
That was fun.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely a good thing that they're releasing more games still in between generations. Although, you know, sooner or later, somebody's going to start pushing the threshold. and the older consoles aren't going to be able to handle it anymore, and we'll end up with like really substandard ports on previous consoles.
More enemies! Land it first!
I mean, it happens with every generation, and it's usually kind of interesting when it happens. Last time I really saw it happen was Shadow of Mordor.
Everyone is okay.
Came out on PS4 and Xbox One, and it also came out on PS3 and 360. And that's an interesting release that at some point I want to pick up and actually dig into a little. That's interesting and very disappointing. That's not what I was after. A giant lens made purely of ice. It is supposedly impervious to heat. Legend has it that people of the ancient world used the lens to burn ships out of the sky or to see faraway lands. But then, why was the focal point last centered on Glacier itself? Ice lens isn't anywhere near the next thing I was looking for. See, I got the ghost ship. There it is. Just east of the iceberg. Yeah. We might be at the point now, Bane, where it's worth looking up the performance of any game released. Any game that's released on PS5 and Xbox Series, it's worth looking at the performance of previous generation versions. Just like if you're after picking up any game, a multi-platform game on Switch, you should look up the performance of it. Unfortunate, but a problematic truth of the industry.
Is it over already?
Or at least you bought it on release. The fact that we have this whole idea of a performance mode and a graphics mode is, I think, troubling for the industry. Because ideally, performance should always take priority over graphics. You and your collector's habits. I don't think I've looked into Stranger of Paradise at all. More it exists and vaguely what it might be about, but I don't know much about it. And that's definitely a problem with the industry. Playability should absolutely be the priority for every game. Nice. You enjoy work. Yeah. Okay, so the Iceland... Just east of the icebergs. I wish I didn't notice frame rate.
Is it over already?
Oh, did you guys, Wait a minute. Where's this goddamn iceberg?
Over there!
Did you guys see the thing I posted in the modding channel? Someone's reverse engineered Metal Gear Solid 2 on PC and added a camera option like Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence to it. And they're going to be releasing it soon. And that's a curious thing.
Thank the moons.
Not yet, but they've got time before the supposed release date. Although, I can't think of any of Konami ever really doing a cease and desist of anything. Then I can't really think of anybody doing anything with Konami games that would potentially lead to a cease and desist. Not because people don't like Konami, but because what is
That wasn't so bad.
Awesome. Can I have 14 SP when I start battles yet? Like, I've never seen... I can't think of any, like, fan game versions of Konami properties. Fan translation, sure, but like, I've never seen a company crack down on any of those. Even the companies that are very litigious. Like, I've never seen Nintendo throw out a cease and desist for fan translations. Or Square. Because, like, you see Square crack down on stuff like that. Like, Square cracked down on the fan game they were making that was supposed to be set between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. They cracked down on the Chrono Trigger 3D remake. Nintendo cracked down on stuff like AM2R and Pokemon Prism, Pokemon Uranium. And I've never seen anything like that from Konami, but I've also never really seen anybody do anything like that with a Konami thing. Like, even Konami, even fan games based on Konami stuff that I've seen tends to just be ROM
I hope
hacks.
that I'm being useful.
Called Chrono Resurrection. Spreadsheets of translations for the Tales games. Like, yeah, is it done with Trails fans to link that shit to Nipponichi? Because, like, what leg does NSA have to stand on with that kind of thing? Oh yeah, no, we translated these games, and here are the records of the translations. It's like, okay. How is that a thing that you can take down?
Is it over already?
Pokemon Prism looked interesting to me. That's mostly because, like, the aesthetic of it looked really nice. Some legal ability to do so. Yeah. It seems like a weird one to actually do. Or, like, did they have the legal ability, or did they send a legal threat that scared them? Because that's a lot of this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, no, if you don't cease and desist, we'll take you to court. But you have no legal leg to stand on. But the fact, trying to prove that in court will also cost me way more money than I have. So you win through the value of through just the benefit of having more money. Yeah.
I hope that I'm being useful.
This iceberg discovery is pissing me off. Lands of Ice heads to the westernmost mountain range, just east of the icebergs. Which means the icebergs should be west of the Icelands. Is it invisible? Of course it's invisible. God damn it. That was weird.
That was fun.
I think the only time I've ever really heard of company going after a fan translation in particular Square went after the Final Fantasy Type 0 translation, which is out there, but they went after the guy who made it. Which, like, I remember the story of that because I was following the fan translation of it at the time. Because it seemed like an interesting thing, it was just never going to come to the West. And then Square announced the Type 0 HD release. And, like, apparently they'd gotten in contact with that guy and told him about it and stuff, and I don't know what went down with it. But the guy released his fan translation as it was, or, like, in some sort of complete state. I think there was some malice involved with that release. Don't quote me on that, I think there was. It was a long time ago at this point, so I could be getting a lot of wires crossed. But, like, because he'd done that after Square had been like, nah, don't do that because we're releasing it. Like, Square was kind of pissed at him. That's like the only time I remember any company doing anything about a fan translation. Do miss these chrono quotes, man. The good stuff. See, the chrono quotes and the chrono facts. It's good stuff. You always have a habit of, like, picking the best dumb shit I say to immortalize. Fan translations are out there, although it has been definitely something I've noticed that they don't get as much publicity before release now.
I'm glad everyone is okay.
Like, it's possible that they just don't talk about them before release now. Which is my thing, you know. I know, and you do it very well, Bane. You do it very well. Like the recent release of the Shin Megami Tensei PlayStation version fan translation. Kinda came out of nowhere. Nobody knew it was happening, and then all of a sudden, bam, here's this fully completed translation of Shin Megami Tensei on PS1 that takes nothing from any previously released translation. Which was really interesting. It used to be a thing of, like, places would have fan translations and they'd talk about them and the progress they're making, and they'd be like releases of these fan translations, but they weren't complete and they'd be updated as they were going. Which was always like, it always struck me as just like a bad way to do things, to release a fan translation that isn't complete, and it's like, oh yeah, no, here's what we have so far and we're still working on it and we're going to add more. The first chapter is complete and we're working on the second chapter, and it's like, why release it like that? Because personally, that's not the way I want to play anything. But it seems like when, like, nobody does that anymore, and they just don't talk about it, don't publicize it, don't go on about it anywhere, and then when it's done, it's out. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Mir. Like, the high-profile cease and desists for various fan works, like especially AM2R. Like, maybe that was the wake-up call a lot of these people needed. You know, okay, we're going to do this project, this labour of love, and we're going to keep it secret until it's done. And then it's out, and nobody can do anything about it. Just like I think Nintendo learned when AM2R came out, and then they did the cease and desist on it. But by that point, it was already out, and they had active competition for the Metroid 2 remake they were doing. Or rather, not active competition, just a comparison point. Which is something they absolutely would not have wanted. So then, with Pokemon Uranium as a thing, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's announced, it'll be coming out. Cease and desist on that. Pokemon Prism, cease and desist on that. That kind of thing. I don't know, maybe people did actually learn. Okay, so west. Oh, a little more. But yeah, you've got to have some way of communicating with people. But it used to be the whole thing of, come on, west. Oh, do it, you fucker. They don't talk about them in public places, but also they don't get public on board to like test them or promote them or anything. It's an interesting change the way any of this is done. Arguably for the better as well in various ways. Particularly for stuff like, how many fan translations have you heard of that were announced and like, we're working on fan translating this game? Here's some progress. We've done like the first hour of the game, and then second hour's done, and then it never goes anywhere. That absolutely used to be the case with so much. Like, there's some Shin Megami Tensei fan translations that were announced that never went anywhere, that were never finished, that never got dealt with. In particular, Persona 2 Eternal Punishment on PSP, and Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner. And yeah, we have... I completely forgot, actually. I forgot whether or not it was announced or whether it was just actually released. But yeah, it was released, like... a full, proper fan translation for Shin Megami Tensei Persona 2 Eternal Punishment on PSP was released. And it took the smartest approach you could ever think of with that, of taking the original, actually pretty solid PlayStation 1 version script, putting that in the game, and then fan translating the new content. And then bam, we've got a complete version of Persona 2 Eternal Punishment on PSP. Pissing me off. Hey, Clem. Like 45 minutes. What good are you then? How you doing, Clem? How's it going? Honestly, I'm just getting irritated because I can't find this one discovery I'm looking for. Nothing good. That's fair. It's Friday. It is Friday. And the specific days of the week generally don't mean anything to me. Get him.
We are victorious.
I hope Chance comes back to like being in a position where we can do co-streams again soonish. Because fuck, I want to play more Shin Megami Tensei. And like, I'm gonna need Chance's wit there to keep me going through Persona 1, which I am on record as just not liking. It's fine, it's a fine game, I'm just not super into it. It's on 2. Where are you, son of a bitch? Yeah. I better do it. Good.
That was fun.
Fucking penguin. Strange bird that lives on the islands of ice. Its small wings are not suited for flight, so it feeds by jumping for fish that float nearby. They are model parents. Males and females take turns caring for an egg, never leaving it until it hatches. Looking in the goddamn sky. Ruins of Ice, head north and a little east. It might just have to bounce. Penguins.
Over there!
Oh, my phone's here.
Yeah!
Get him! Good work. How long have I been going for?
Is it over already?
Almost 2 hours. I feel like we've gotten like 5 discoveries. There are so many more discoveries. A frozen giant. A giant furry animal perfectly preserved in ice for more than 20,000 years. It is unknown how the creature came to be frozen here. Perhaps it fell off into a crack in a glacier while chasing its prey, or it was instantly frozen in some catastrophe. Esperanza. Right, going up. We're here, we want to head here. So, turn slightly right. There we go, that's probably seriously. You're a discovery, I'm pretty sure. Do I have you? Meh. Meh. The Comma Rock. Legend has it that Comma Rock was once an island in the South Ocean, thousands of years ago. The winds ripped apart the island and slowly eroded it down over the years to the state that it's in today. Perhaps someday Comma Rock will no longer exist. Making kind of a stretch there, Clem. Esperanza entrance to the dark. That's the one from Alpha. Esperanza entrance to the Dark Rift. Is it this island? That's what makes it funny. The Titanium's doing okay. Keep waiting for Titanium to come back. Because, like, Superhero Saturdays are on pause. Until he comes back, so we don't do Astro Boy without him. But like once we're done with Horrorween, we're probably gonna be probably gonna want to jump back into doing Superhero Saturdays. But we'll leave Astro Boy off until Titanium comes back. We'll just do other superhero games.
Take this. That wasn't so bad.
'Cause I want to do... I want to do Spider-Man on PC. Partly for the mods. You? And partly for the mods. Partly because I feel like I didn't do it very well the first time I streamed it, and I didn't enjoy it all that much. And also to get around to doing the DLC on stream, because I didn't do the DLC on stream.
Yeah.
Sneak past the black hole. I mean, we can go over it now.
Take this. Let us be thankful for our safety.
West of the little south, and it's the nearest very small island. Plus, there's other superhero games I want to do. I continue doing the Arkham games on stream. Origins is next, and I need to decide whether or not we're going to do Origins Blackgate at some point.
Is it over already?
It'll probably be worth doing, but like it's the only Arkham game I've not finished. With the exception of Arkham VR, because I'm not buying a VR headset just for that game. There we go. Before the advent of ships, blimps ruled the skies as the means of exploration. Here lie the ruins of one man's dreams. He tried time and time again to repair his blimp and cross the dark rift, but was defeated by the fierce winds. North of Mount Kasai. Yeah, I played a little of it. I went to Sony's Future of Play tour a few years back. And I got to play an actual demo of it. And I remember making the point of, like, it was the game I was most interested in seeing there. And it was the game that I enjoyed the least while I was there. Like, so much other stuff there was way more interesting. The Resident Evil 7 demo was more interesting. Eve Valkyrie was more interesting. The underwater bit of VR Worlds, PSVR Worlds was more interesting. My hope with Arkham VR was there was going to be like a proper Arkham game, just in first person, and it absolutely wasn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over not doing Arkham VR on stream. But Origins Blackgate, I have it. I haven't finished it. Like I say, it's the only Arkham game I've not finished, with the exception of Arkham VR. Largely because I found it boring. Which is especially bad because it's a Metroidvania. I can understand it. I heard the X, because it was an X-Wing bit, wasn't it? Like an attack on the Death Star kind of thing. I could absolutely understand that, because I would have been down for that. X-Wings against TIE Fighters, you know. And they brought that idea back with Star Wars Squadrons, and I played it. Because like, I had Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play was on there, and they put it on there eventually. So I played it, and I was like, it's fine, I guess, I'm just not into it. Warp out. Yeah, it's a cool concept, but it's like one piece of free DLC, isn't it? That, like, hearing you describe it makes that sound like a demo. I will say, one game I was interested in picking up a PSVR for. It didn't require PSVR, I had a really fun time with it without PSVR. Mecha-chrono Rainfall was such an interesting concept. Apparently it was worked on by like one guy. It's Combat 7's VR stuff, that's fair. Apparently Mecha-chrono Rainfall was worked on by one guy. I was like, this is a really cool idea, and I would be all over it if they got like a group, like a proper team behind this. Refined it, made it work. Because it feels more like a proof of concept, but it's really cool. Project Wingman. You can be my wingman anytime, man. That was Microsoft Flight Simulator that got the Top Gun thing. Fun fact, I've never watched Top Gun. Don't really care to either. You know what? I've also watched both Hot Shots movies. They are really hard to find. Or really hard to see. The Wonderbirds are large migratory birds from the far north, revered since ancient times as symbols for long life. Their cry is rarely ever heard, but the clarity and beauty of their song is said to put all of the birds to shame. Northeast from Yafutomi, you find it on an island on top of the wall. I miss that era of parody movie. Well, like, you didn't have to be familiar with anything that was being parodied to still enjoy it and find it funny. Nowadays, so much is just references. It's like you'll only find the references funny if you've seen what they're referencing. Oh hey look, there's Blueheim's corpse. You know, I've realised what the problem is. I still have the black map equipped. So we've been roaming around trying to find these discoveries, and I've still got the accessory equipped that increases random encounters. And we've been streaming for over 2 hours now. It's taken me that long to realise that's why we're having so many random encounters.
Yeah. Is it over already?
Let me just take that off real quick. Invulnerable to normal attacks. Oh. No, we can't examine Blueheim's corpse. Northeast, so I want to look on the other side of the Yafatoma. There, that's gotta be it. Or that. Most likely this, though. Everywhere I go, people wanting me to do the random encounters. For my timber, shiver my soul, yo ho, ho. There are men whose hearts are as black as coal, yo ho, ho. And they sail their ships across the ocean blue, a bloodthirsty captain and a cutthroat crew. Every man on board would have killed his mate for a bag of guineas or a piece of egg. Wait, that's further in the song. I've mixed up the lines. Look at this, you.
That wasn't so bad.
There we go. Once upon a time, there was a gentle creature called the Dare Seed. Lived in the forest. The villagers believed that by getting kicked by the Dare would make them rich, so they chased him around until he ran away. The Afatoman fairy tale. What's the last number I have? 87. Currently on 42. We are missing, or we're skipping some numbers there. Like we're on 42 now, we already have 43. The Reef and the Dark Rift meet as an island. Alright. So this is going to be to the west. The White Stone Reef. Which borders with Ixataka. So it's actually to the east. I need to turn around. One thing you should never be afraid of doing on streams is regularly consulting the map. Because it can save you so much trouble. I think back on my streams, like doing Silent Hill and like Resident Evil Village. And like, I spend a good amount of time consulting the map in those games, and it's like, maybe people won't be so into that, but also it makes sure that I can actually know where the fuck I'm going, and not just wander around for an hour. Diligence is not a bad thing. Dancing, going around in circles. There's actually 89, but the 89th discovery is one of the 3 secrets, and it's not added to your count, and it's not added to the discovery log. 88 is the one that we're supposed to get for finding all 24 Moonfin, that we haven't been given and has me concerned.
Is it over already?
So technically it's 88. I don't use guides often. Like, mostly I'm talking about like the in-game maps. Like, you go back and watch my Silent Hill streams, and like Silent Hill 4 may be a return to this, but Silent Hill 4 has smaller, more enclosed areas. Like, I spend a good amount of time consulting the map. Southern end of the reef.
Here goes!
Thank the moons.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth like checking that, because Silent Hill games can be run around quite a bit anyway. Alright, so this guide is pretty clear about where the White Stone Reef meets the Dark Rift. Well, it's not so much about playing without a map, it's that I'm very regularly consulting it in games like that. There we go, that's going to be what I'm after. If you go back and watch my streams of Silent Hill 2, especially Silent Hill 1, and to a lesser extent Silent Hill 3, like, I'm checking the map very, very regularly. Some people might say too much. I was doing it with RE1 a little bit, and I'll probably do it quite a bit with Zero and Remake when we get to those. Because I'm not as familiar with them. There it is. Grieving Prince. I mean, that's fair. Short-term memory can be a very finicky thing. And it's very fair to want to refresh it. But Silent Hill is also, like, really kind of maze-like and a lot of stuff. Like, there are a lot of doors in Arcadia, most of which won't be openable. But it's also why I'll check every door to make sure it's on the map. It's, I guess, part of the reason why I'm as entertained by stuff like Etrian Odyssey as I am. Because, like, I'll refer to a map as much as I need to in that kind of game, and drawing my own map, absolutely fantastic, love it. Statue of an ancient prince who lost his wife in a sailing accident and spent his life gazing up at the skies. On a full moon, it's said that a single tear falls from the prince's eyes as he watches ships pass. North and a little east from Yafutoma. A very long way until you reach the bottom left portion of the map. Can't find it, try going directly west from the junction where the Dark Rift and the White Stone Rift meet. Means it's got to be like forward from here. Directly west from this point? Oh, there we go. Mystic Orchard. Once upon a time I was falling in love, but now I'm only falling apart. There was a faraway island where jeweled fruit grew on the trees. The young man took one of the fruits to cure his sick mother, but in return, had to come back to the island to become one of the magical trees. Aftertime fairy tale. Head due north from Ryuken's Island, you'll find it just as the Dark Rift goes. Ryuken's Island is here. So if we just keep going west, we'll find it. Okay, I've passed it. There it is. Okay, so if I head north from here. Is it visible or invisible? It's invisible. Just as Dark Reef appears ahead. Alright. A ghost. What? Look out, Raggy. A ghost.
That was fun.
Just as the dark reef. Right, so about here-ish. About there we go. The inverse isle. Strange island where the trees and everything else are upside down. The current theory is this confusing phenomenon may be caused by a flux in the gravitational pull caused by the presence of black moonstones at the center of the dark rift. If you know what I mean. That's right. Black moonstones are an interesting thought in this game. Because, like, you can find the black moonstone in the Dark Rift, and it's, like, the only time one appears. It doesn't get added to your elements. Alright, thanks for joining us, Clem. You take care of yourself, and we'll catch you later. Don't forget to check Clem out tomorrow as he starts streaming something. I don't remember what he was going to start streaming. 5 PM British Summer Time, 12 PM America Time. I forget what we were talking about him streaming. It was a good idea though, but I don't know if he's going to stream it. Thanks for shouting Clem out, Bay. Okay, so there's Maramba. Turn off. Meow. Hey, shouting Mare out. Kirby's Adventure. I didn't see you playing that. I've never done Kirby's Adventure, and I really should. At some point, it'd probably be worth me doing like a Kirby marathon or something, or like a Kirby series. Southeast, find a small gap. You can fly between the mountain and Dark Rift. Stay against the mountain range till you find a flat side of it. So this way. God knows at some point I do want to at least play Kirby 64 for myself. I've only done like the first 2 levels of that game. First world of Kirby's Adventure. That's fair. If I was gonna do Kirby, like, what game would I stop at? Because, like, there's Dreamland Adventure, Dreamland 2, Superstar, Dreamland 3. Kirby's Dream Course, if I can get somebody to play it with me. Which I probably could, like, the main thing the Switch is actually good for. Kirby 64.
Let us be thankful for our safety.
And then, like, for the most part, it's handheld Kirby games. Which I suppose, like, handheld has always been Kirby's place. Sticks to the main Kirby games. But what do you define as, like, main and not main? It's like, yeah, Dream Course, not main. Of course not. But, like, Dreamland, would you count Superstar as a main Kirby game? 64, presumably, but then, like, would you count Amazing Mirror? Would you count Canvas Curse? Would you count Kirby Mass Attack? The platformers. That's fair. Kirby Mass Attack is good though, I like it. The ruins of an ancient city that served as a centre of trade between Nassau and the East. The ruins show a remarkable blending of the cultures of the East and West, driven not by the ruling class, by a strong merchant class. Right, we're going back to the ruins of ice. Like, I think Kirby... The problem with Kirby is, like, they kind of did everything they needed to or really could do with Kirby in a 2D setting. Like, you can argue either Kirby Superstar or Kirby 64. And since then, most Kirby games have just been the same thing over. Unless they've been specifically different, like Canvas Curse, Mass Attack, Epic Yarn, for better or worse.
Over there.
But those, like, the weird ones, the ones that do something different, are also some of the more interesting ones. Like, Kirby Mass Attack is really fun. And I was really interested in Planet Robobot, but I've still not gotten around to playing it. Why don't I have that on Citra? I should do that while I'm off. I should, like, just sort out the games that I have that aren't on Citra and put them on Citra. Like, everything, doesn't matter what. Fucking Metal Gear Solid 3D. You know what? We're going to take a short break now. And, like, I say a short break, I mean, like, the stream's going to stop for a while. I'm going for 2.5 hours. I intend to go for considerably much longer time. But what we're going to do is we're going to take, like, half hour, an hour break. And then we'll come back and do more discoveries. So, yeah. But we'll count this as, like, the usual full stream thing. Metal Gear Solid Collection on PS3, unfortunately, is, like, the only way to do it. Because 4 is only available on PS3. Yeah. I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. I was really appreciate the support. Big special thanks to everybody in the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. Chance, me, Bane, Clem, Amanda. I think that's everybody. Oh, Cat. Of course, we can't forget legendary streamer Foxhound Cat. We'll be back in like an hour or so. Just going to take a break. Stretch my legs. Wash my throat out. Talking for like 2.5, 3 hours. Talking for fucking 8 hours. It's painful. God damn. But yeah, when we come back, we'll continue with this. So we'll see you soon. Catch you later, guys.
Wanna take